So we'll start with our next paper presentation session. And for this paper presentation session, we have two session chairs. Sri R.P. Pandey, Assistant Controller Investigation, Office of CCA, and Sri Samsuddin Khan, Assistant Controller Technology, Office of CCA. I request both of you, sir, to come on the dais. And I request Dr. Anand Mohan to felicitate our session chairs.
Good morning to all of you. I hope you had a wonderful sleep after the digestion of yesterday's talks and sessions. So today is the concluding day also of this wonderful conference, which is the 6th in the series, and Office of CCA and CDAC is collaborating efforts to continue this kind of conferences. So to proceed in the conference, the next paper presentation is for post-quantum hybrid digital signature, bringing classical and quantum resistance cryptography. The author is Shri Jitendra Kumar. So may I request Shri Jitendra Kumar to present.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to everyone? Yeah. Actually, a little bit preface. As we know that quantum computer is in the horizon, but it is still not signing, because something like cryptographically relevant quantum computer has not yet been developed. The current quantum computer cannot break RSA 2048 or any elliptical curve-based cryptography. Then basically we have to transition from classical classical cryptography to post-quantum cryptography, and there is a transition period. And during transition period, there are multiple solutions are suggested, and one solution is called hybrid approach. And this paper is co-authored by Dr. Balaji Rajendran, Mr. Ashish Banati, Dr. K.K. Sundra Pandian from Office of CCA, and Dr. S.D. Sudarshan from CDAC Bangalore. This is the background and motivation, because quantum computer basically threatens the traditional cryptography, which are basically based on RSA and elliptical curve based cryptography. Then this vulnerability basically arises because of source algorithm, which can break the prime number factorization problem and discrete logarithmic problem. On the prime number factorization problem, RSA is based, and discrete logarithmic problem, electrical curve cryptography is based. And post-quantum cryptography presents a promising quantum-resistant alternative, but questions about performance, implementation, readiness, and trust are still remaining. In this paper, we will analyze the hybrid digital signature scheme, their implementation strategies, and we will also compare them. The primary focus of this paper is that whether hybrid digital signature is a practical or secure solution during the transition period. This is a relative study, because post-quantum field is an evolving field, and there are so many new terminologies are there. One terminology like post-quantum cryptography itself, like quantum-resistant cryptography. Then there are other terminologies which are related to the hybrid digital signature or hybrid certificate, post-quantum based certificate chain, like hybrid certificate chain. There are so many such new terminologies are there, and that terminology is defined in this particular RFC, which is which is there in the reference one. And one more paper, one more, I have added here one more reference. In this one author, these authors are defining a composite MLA DSA scheme. This is, in this case, in the case of composite, what happens, it is it will generate a single digital structure, but that digital signature structure is generated by two algorithms, one with quantum algorithm and another with the classical algorithm. I will talk about this in the following slides. Let us first talk about hybrid digital certificate. The hybrid digital certificate must include at least two keys, dual public key. One is the classical public key, another is the post-quantum based public key. And the popular digital certificate format like X.509 version 3 currently supports only one public key. Means in this format, we cannot store two public key. Hence, a standard must be updated to ensure backward compatibility and also support for the dual certificate. Then for creation of a hybrid digital certificate, we have some approach which we have adopted. Actually, we are developing a post-quantum based CS software suite. And in that, there we have adopted an approach. In this approach, we have used one extension. Extension name is subject alternate public key. And this is an extension of X.509 version 3. In this extension, we are storing the another key, which is a post quantum public key. This is one example. In this snapshot, if we see this 2.5.29.72 is a OID, which stores the other public key. Whatever you are seeing the down here, that is nothing but the quantum public key, means MLDSA public key. Then actually we have in our CS software, we are able to generate this hybrid digital certificate. And the post-quantum public key we are storing as an extension. Then hybrid digital signature scheme. There are basically three types of digital signature schemes which are generally talked of. One is called parallel. In this case, parallel digital signature, we will have a two signature. We will have a two parallel signature. One with the classical cryptography, another with the post-quantum cryptography. This is useful because this is backward compatible and forward security against future quantum threat also can be ensured. Another is a concatenated hybrid digital signature. In this also, we have two signatures. One is a quantum based signature, another is a classical signature. Both are generated independently, but both are concatenated. Third one is the called here nested. In this case, one signature authenticates the other. I will talk about all those things in the following slides. Another is the composite signature. This is discussed in a one RFC draft. Actually, it's a draft only. There is no RFC. In this case, what happens? It uses two algorithm, but actually generates only one key pair. Means it will use RSA plus MLDSA, but it will generate a composite key pair, only one key pair, one public key, one private key. And in this case also composite signature, there is a only single composite digital signature structure. And because it is though it is using two public key for generating the key pair, but it resembles the way currently all protocols are work. That's why this scheme can utilize the existing field in PKCS10 CMP protocol and X.509 certificate architecture and cryptographic messaging syntax also. There actually we have used some in the following slide. These symbols are used. In this, here M stands for message. PRSA is a traditional private key. PRMLDSA is a post-quantum private key. PURSA is a traditional RSA public key. PUMLDSA is a post-quantum MLDSA public key. H1 is a traditional hashing algorithm. H2 is a post-quantum hashing algorithm. E1 is a traditional encryption. E2 is a post-quantum encryption. D1 is a traditional decryption. D2 is a post-quantum decryption. S1 is a traditional signature. S2 is a post-quantum signature. And F is a cryptographic message syntax, because we require a cryptographic message syntax to storing the signed information. Then in the case of parallel scheme, this is a data flow diagram. In this data flow diagram, this circle represents functions and this square represents some kind of entity. Means this circle is a verb and this square is a entity. Then this is, suppose M is our original message and H1 is a hashing algorithm, which is a traditional hashing algorithm. We are passing this M to the traditional hashing algorithm. The output we are encrypting with the private key of the RSA private key. Then certainly we will get a signature here. Output is a signature S1 here. And then next step is the message we are passing to the post-quantum based hashing algorithm. Then we are encrypting with the post-quantum based MLDSA private key. Then we will get S2. And then both S and S2 are kept parallel. And this is the message and this is the header, which will contain information about the certificates and other things. Then this overall, this in this function, this header message and S1 and S2 is created using the cryptographic message syntax. For this can be created using the CMS based structure or standard. Come to the verification scheme. In the case of verification, is easy because it's a parallel. What we will do, we will take the signature S1 and we will use the public key RSA. Then we will have a hashed message over here. This message we will again hash with the H1. This is a traditional hashing algorithm and we will compare. If both are matching, then it means that message integrity is maintained. Similar process we will do with the post-quantum based approach. And if both are matching, then we can say the message integrity is ensured. Just want to remember, because we are not still in the quantum era. Quantum era will come after 2030 or maybe beyond. Then just before quantum era, one verification is enough. We don't have to do the other verification. But why we have added the redundant signature? Because this redundant signature will help during the quantum era. Suppose this message is still used during the quantum era, then the message integrity can be ensured using this redundant S2 signature. In the case of concatenated approach, this is similar to the parallel approach only, but only thing, those signatures are concatenated. S1 and S2 are concatenated. And the difference between parallel and concatenated is that the parallel will oblige to the current protocols like TLS and many other thing. But this concatenated hybrid signature cannot comply to the existing protocols, but it will still verify or authenticate your message. Verification is also similar. Here, concatenated signature will be on concatenated S1 and S2. And then for the normal cases, what we will do, like message is there, then this message, suppose we are starting here, and this is S1 is a signature, we will decrypt it with the public key, because in the signature, private key is used for encryption and decryption, it be used public key. And message is again hashed. If both are comparing, then we can say message integrity is not lost. Same thing we can do with the another algorithm, like this is a post-quantum signature. We will decrypt it with the public key and we can take again hash of the message and we can compare both. If both are matching, then we can say that message integrity is intact. Then just one thing to remember, in the pre-quantum era, one verification is enough. Only on the post-quantum era, we will do the other verification check. In the case of nested hybrid digital signature scheme, this is a special kind of scheme. In the how nested hybrid signature is created, suppose we have a message M. This is passed to the classical hashing algorithm, and then hash is encrypted with the private key of RSA, and this is a message. We will add it, then we will get the message and signature. Then this message and signature is again hashed with the post-quantum based hashing algorithm, and then we will encrypt the output with the MLDSA private key, and we will, this F is a cryptographic message, cryptographic CMS means cryptographic message syntax function, and it will create this CMS structure like header, message, and S1, this is a one block, and S2 is a out. Then this is called nested because S2 actually authenticate S1 also. This is a creation scheme. Now come to the verification scheme. In the case of verification, suppose we are in the pre-quantum era, what we will do? We will signature, we will again decrypt it. We will certainly decrypt it with the private key. It's not mentioned over here. And again, we will take a hash one. If both are matching, then we can say that message integrity is not lost, it is ensured. In the post-quantum era only, what we will do? We will decrypt this S2 with the MLDSA public key. And again, this whole block M plus S1, we will take a hash and output of this and this we will compare. If both are matching, then we can say that, okay, message integrity is still maintained and it is not lost. Just to remember, this check will be performed during the post-quantum era, when actual quantum computer has come and which is basically which can break the classical cryptography. Pre-quantum era, this check is enough. Then these are the PQC signature sizes. If you see RSA public key size 256, private key same, and signature size is also same. This is about elliptical cryptography. This is MLDSA 44. It is in some it is in around 1.3 KB. And this is MLDSA 65. These are the signature size structure. And since we have done implementation, actually we have done the performance checking also. In that performance checking, these are our data, all are in nanosecond. Basically, this is less than 1 second. This is 0.03 second. And for this, I have used a laptop with a 16 GB RAM and 1 terabyte of SSD and AMD Ryzen 7 processor, while we used NetBeans and Java, some software which was running. It will come different on the different system, but still relative performance will be almost same here. I have just given that performance metrics for the primitive operation like RSA signing, RSA verification. This is a RSA signing. It takes around, you can say, it takes around this many nanoseconds. If we compare, this is a MLDSA signing, and this is a MLDSA verification. In this MLDSA, we have used MLDSA 65, and this is a nested. If we compare this MLDSA normal with the nested, it only slight increase of performance is there, because in the case of nested, just we are adding 256 byte extra during the hashing process. And but there is a significant difference from the RSA. That's why there is a trade-off in the performance if we are going for the hybrid digital certificate and hybrid digital signature. Certainly, in the case of parallel, this RSS, this means verification, parallel and concatenated digital signature scheme, signing and verification is will be same, but the time which it takes for the CMS creation of CMS structure, it will little bit change it. And that's why I have not kept here. I have just kept the primitive. What is the timing for the primitive operation? Now come to the conclusion. The hybrid digital signature can be a practical solution during the transition period, because it combines the strength of both traditional as well post-quantum algorithms. And this paper presents hybrid digital signature is actually we have implemented also design, implementation, and strategies, and also we have compared the performance. And hybrid digital signature introduce actually trade-off regarding the computational efficiency, signature, and size. Means one question people can ask whether I can go for nested or not, whether I can take this parallel or concatenated, because performance is drastically changing. You can see here. Here verification time is very less in the RSA, but for the MLDSA and nested it is more. But all are in nanosecond. It will really may not matter that much. Then the hybrid actually hybrid scheme introduced a trade-off regarding computational efficiency and signature size and complexity. Hence, these aspects must be carefully balanced during the design and implementation. This is a conclusion, and thank you from my side. I will be happy to answer some query if you can ask.
Is the performance metrics are on what machine that you have to mention?
Yeah, performance actually is a similar laptop. What laptop is here? It's a laptop having 16 GB RAM and it is a AMD Ryzen processor. But the relative performance will be similar only. Timing may change, but this graph may be on the similar scale.
No, clock speed you have to mention.
Sir?
Clock frequency you have to mention. Clock frequency.
Clock frequency, actually, this AMD Ryzen, what's the clock frequency? I don't remember actually. Maybe I think it's a latest processor, sir. But laptop is same actually, same laptop I performed. Similar. Actually, graph will be similar on the different machine also, but time will change because it depends on the computing power of the machine.
Okay, thank you.